Okay.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming. So we are doing this in person. So thank you to you guys for showing up in person. I'm Megan Laurie. I am the Director of Development and Marketing here at UCP. And thank you to everybody who is online and watching from the home or office. We are recording the presentation, so we'll be able to share the information with the broader community later on. But we wanted to give our donors and our supporters kind of a sneak peek before we broadcast everything to our broader community. So for those who are online, please just remember to keep muted. And then at the end, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box or raise your hand, and we will get all those questions answered at the end. And then just to get us started, I know we're in competition for March Madness. So good thing we're recording, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Doug Bergman.
Great. Thank you, everybody. I'm very excited to be here today. Really going to give you a snapshot of the past and a little bit more about what we're looking at for the future for the organization. So first of all, everybody in the room and on Zoom, just thank you for your continued support of UCP. I think once we get through the slides today, you have a better understanding of what we're doing in the community. And hopefully you will continue to support UCP as well too. I don't think we're going to be here the full hour. So if you do need to get back to your second half of your basketball game, we'll get you there in a timely manner. So, but just jumping in a little bit about UCP and the team here and, how the organization is managed. So I'm the CEO. I've been here for 17 years. Actually, last Monday was my 17th year anniversary here with UCP. So it's been wonderful since 2006. Managed by our board of directors, two groups. We have the foundation board and the organization board. You can see on the screen there. We have 15 directors on the board of directors and 10 on the trustees foundation. So great group of people, 25 members, all great people in the community and all contributors to the organization in many different ways, just not in time and talent, but in money as well too, and their expertise that they help provide me and my leadership team, continued guidance in the community. So leadership team, I have 5 members. As far as my leadership team, I have a chief financial officer, HR director, chief operating officer, and a marketing development director. So that and myself. So it's 5 of us that kind of lead the team of a full-time staff of 164 individuals and a part-time staff of 613. So you can see size-wise, we have quite a few employees that we need to continue to manage. So a little bit about our organization. So we were established in 1955 by a group of volunteers. So at that point, at that time, there was really no options for individuals, for kids, once they're diagnosed with a developmental disability, cerebral palsy. Back in 1955 was the big one, obviously, that the only choice they had at that point was to put their child in an institution. And there's a group of parents that basically said, we are not going to allow that to happen. So a small group of parents came together and they decided they're going to keep their child at home and not put them in an institution. So you can see the picture on the right, upper right, that's an institution in Sonoma. That has now been closed, and it's been closed now, I believe, for 3 years. So that institution is still there physically, but there's no clients in that institution anymore. They've all been integrated either out into the community through programs or are in care, a different kind of care home today. And that van in the middle was purchased a long time ago by UCP, but one of the first original vans that we purchased. And I don't know if you guys, and there's probably a few of you that know what S&H green stamps are. And if you don't know what they are, it was a collection of stamps, and you could purchase stuff with S&H green stamps. And the families got together. They accumulated over 1 million S&H green stamps, and they purchased a van for themselves to be able to transport their kids to and from activities in the Sacramento area. So that's not that van up there, but I don't know if we even have a picture of that first van that was purchased. So, but anyway, that's some of the efforts that they made as a group, you know, to ensure that their kids would not go into an institution. And we still want to continue that that mission today in our community and make sure kids are not isolated in institutions, which we will not support that at all moving forward. So UCP has different programs. We have 4 different divisions. We have 14 different programs. And those 4 programs divisions include a respite division, transportation, adult, and recreation. And the adult program includes 8 facility-based programs here in the Sacramento area. We have an independent living program. Our respite program is really giving guardians much needed break to run errands, to do more what they need to do for self-care, and really to kind of just give them a break and allow them to live a life, a general life, you know, that you and I are more fortunate to have on a daily basis. And then our transportation department has a fleet of about 50, 60 buses that we continue to serve the Sacramento community. And then our newer division is therapy and recreation. So this is just launched last year, and we do summer camp programs and do a lot of integrated recreational activities in the Sacramento area. So just a couple of stats from last year before I go into each program. So last year we served almost 3,000 individuals, and that is 3,000 individuals per month. We serve, not annually. So that's a lot of day programs, a lot of transportation trips, a lot of respite visits make up the majority of those. And a big stat that a lot of people are surprised about for UCP is that autism is our most commonly diagnosed primary diagnosis for individuals with that part of UCP, and it's 48% of our clients are actually autistic. So we have this name, United Cerebral Palsy, and we've done a great job of promoting that name, you know, throughout the time, the 55 years we've been here, actually longer than that, 67 years we've been here. And you know, and we've had to pivot and you know, open up our opportunities for folks to come for services to UCP, you know, with other developmental disabilities other than cerebral palsy. And actually, cerebral palsy is only 9% of our client base today. So you can see autism is our biggest client that we serve. A little bit more about the profiles of UCP, so our respite division. So it's our largest division, serving almost 2,000 individuals and employing almost 600 workers. We do provide services in all 5 counties in the Sacramento area, and 58% of our respite workers work with only one family. So there is a connection there between a respite worker and a family. And some of these respite workers may work with these families for 15, 20, and 25 years, and sometimes longer. So that family feels secure, that they know somebody coming into their home, going to take good care of their child, and have a trust and rapport with that individual. We do family referrals and we do matching. So if a family has a certain need, they need a certain worker, maybe with speaks a certain language, or maybe a worker who is more dog friendly than others that are not, we're going to do the match and try to find almost a perfect match for an individual to come into and take care of their son or daughter. And the 1,978 families we serve, you know, that's only 60% of the total families we could serve. So we're continuing to build, you know, a workforce, you know, to serve more individuals. And as far as technology and innovation, we built a software called Respite about 7 to 8 years ago. It's been implemented within our own organization, and actually 15 other organizations are using this software as well now. But it's a way to continue to be a little more efficient in what we're doing day in and day out for programs and services, to make sure we get everything in scheduled on time. People know when they didn't show up for a particular respite, or they're late for a particular respite. we're able to communicate with those families and let them know. Doesn't happen very often, but once in a while, people get stuck in traffic and can't get there. So it's just some stats for the organization. I'm going to get into metrics a little later. I'm kind of a metric guy, and kind of helps us drive what we do today. So looking back a little bit for the pandemic that we just went through, you can see we peaked hours. We had some nice growth going in 18, 19 into 19 and 20 as far as the number of hours, service hours. You can see we're almost at 310,000 service hours on an annual basis. Then the pandemic hit, and you can see in 21 and 22, we lost a lot of those hours, and most of those were due, to employees not being comfortable going to other people's homes, parents not being comfortable having team members or other people come into their home. And we just through attrition as well too. A lot of people decided not to work, or maybe they moved to another state and stop work somewhere else. So we wanted to make sure that we focus on rebuilding the workforce, and that's what we're doing right now. So you can see our target for 2023 is to get hopefully bounce back up to around 282,000 hours, service hours for the fiscal year we're in today, and we hope to see that graph continue to climb in the following year as well too. And over on the right, you can see the age participation on the right as far as respite participants and their age, and that's broken down. 66% of our clients are between the age of 0 to 18, and that's the bulk of that we do serve. So we do serve a lot of children at UCP that probably known very well at this point too, but the majority of our clients are kids and adults 0 to 18 years. So let's talk about transportation. So our transportation department, you can see a couple of our cool buses there in the pictures. Great driver we have there as well too. So our division is really a fixed route or an on-demand route, and we help connect people with developmental disabilities to the community. We could do special contracts with organizations as well too if they need services. We had a lot of special COVID services, during the pandemic. So we had deliveries, communities, outings, in-person transportation, test kit deliveries, trip to medical appointments, delivered meals. So we had a lot of activity during the COVID crisis when we weren't providing transportation to and from programs when our programs were temporarily closed for a period of time. We are always looking for acquisitions. We just acquired some new vehicles from a company who closed their doors early or late last fall. And we acquired 10 vehicles from them and picked up 20 of their drivers. So that is something we want to continue to do and need to do here in the community as transportation needs are sorely needed for folks with So a couple stats here about our transportation department. So 51,000 one-way trips each year. 682 individuals receive services. So the miles driven, so 542,000, almost 543,000 miles. So you guys that are here, I don't know if you know how many miles it is around the equator. Does anybody know that? Might want to take a guess. It's about 25,000 miles around the equator. So we drove 542,000, almost 543,000. So I did a little math on that, and that's almost 22 trips around the globe, for those miles for 1 year, 22 trips. So that's how many miles we are driving on an annual basis in an active vehicles of 56. So you kind of put that in perspective. That's a lot of times around the globe. That's a lot of miles driven. So, our transportation department is really moving almost every day of the week, and Saturday and Sundays are a little bit of a downtime, but we do provide services on Saturday and Sunday as well too, but Monday through Friday is the majority of our time. So just some interesting transportation facts there. Okay, moving on, let's go talk about our adult division. So picture of Eric here. Eric is a pretty cool client. I don't know how long he's been with UCP, but he's been here as long as I've been here. I've been here 17 and he's been here longer than I have. So Eric is a pretty good guy. So I had a conversation with Eric 2 or 3 years ago. He was writing some letters on his task, and I said, Eric, I said, who are you writing letters to? And he goes, I'm writing letters to the troops. He says they need support. So that's a kind of a guy that Eric is, and not thinking about himself or his disability. He's writing letters to the troop to encourage them to continue to do the work that they do. And that's when we're still in Iraq and Afghanistan. So just outstanding person there. I just love that guy to death, and just a great person. So we have 9 unique programs vended by the regional center here. 8-day programs. We have 1 independent living program where we're teaching skills. The folks living independently will come into their home, we'll teach them how to cook, teach them how to balance a checkbook, we'll teach them how to get to the bus station. Whatever they need, we'll be there for them to help them live more independently. So intellectual disability is the most common diagnosis, with 67% of our clients with an intellectual disability. 47 for these individuals are non-ambulatory, so they're in a wheelchair, and that's why we have these bigger buses, that pick these clients up and take them to and from program every day, and that's why we need to continue to support and be supportive of the community here in Sacramento. So, and these programs, they focus on skill building, community living, education, independent living, and socialization. And just a couple pictures of, some of the class, the independent living, the adult day program of some of our clients here. You can see the 2 to the left are our class program. They have their instructor with them, and they're out in the community, working, and looks like having fun and smiling. So that's good. We like to see that. And then the picture on the bottom right is somebody from our adult day program. In the classroom working on the screen there. So that's great. I think we have another set of pictures here too. So these are individuals again out in the community. We take our clients out in the community as often as possible, for day trips. And up in the upper right, see, it looks like they're in a park there. And then we have an independent individual there on the bottom left there as far as a bike. That was purchased by UCP as well too, through a grant. We get some grant money every year from our national office, and we use that money to purchase equipment, something similar that they can have a bike. And then on the bottom right, you notice that's Jeopardy. And so while we were all confined to our homes, we developed a new program called UCP Connect. And through the UCP Connect, we were able to stay connected to our clients and be able to do games and offer any kind of other services, that we could without physically being in their home. It's all done remotely. So we had to come up with some different ideas, to keep them engaged and keep their education levels high. So that's something we developed during the COVID. Next slide, our recreation division. So that was again just established last year. So this is a great division. We hired and promoted somebody from within to run this division, Leah Brown. She's done a fantastic job. It includes summer camps, kids, adults, family recreation activities. You can see the number of kids who have attended at camp last year. We did a Christmas lights tour, went to the Aerospace Museum, kayaking at the Aquatic Center. So many more stuff coming up this next year. We've received already some wonderful grant money this year, to support these programs. We're always looking for grant opportunities to support recreation programs. So this is one that we did, and we want to continue to build on this division this next year. I think we had some photos from some camps. Camp photo. Oh, those are coming up in a minute. Yeah. So guiding principles. So, what guides the organization? We want to make sure we continue to build meaningful relationships with the organization. And that is, friendship, social skills, connections, support. Those relationships, are healthy for the organization, healthy for our team members, and we just want to make sure we build those relationships. We have many, many meaningful relationships established here at UCP, for the length we've been here. We want to continue to provide transformative experiences, opportunities to travel. I think everybody's taking a ski trip this weekend. We're taking them up to, I think, South Lake Tahoe for skiing this weekend. So we want to be able to them to learn new things, try new things, and try new experiences as well. And then inspire confidence and personal growth. So, this is very important, for the clients that we serve. We want them to feel good about about who they are in the community and their contributions. They do make contributions to the community, and we want to make sure, those contributions continue. They don't want to be a burden to the community. They want to be a contribution to, they want to make contributions to the community. So they have goals of wanting to get a job, wanting to drive, some wanting to get married, want to pay taxes. I mean, they want to actually do that. Maybe not paying taxes so much, but like paying taxes, but they want to do that. So they want to feel like they're contributing. So it's very important we inspire confidence and personal growth. And then the community involvement, just full participation in the community life, volunteering, building a sense of belonging, just being within their community, their home. It's just so important. When they walk out every day, they're recognized as a contributor to the community, not somebody that has a developmental disability or a disability that may be in a wheelchair, may not be. They want to be part of it. They want to be part of the solution. They want to work, with everybody to be part of that community, be involved. Okay, so couple more pictures here with camp. So we had 48 participants this past summer, ages anywhere from 4 to 60. You can see some of the pictures. I've been up to this camp a couple of times. It's just a wonderful facility up in Portola, Grizzly Camp, and they just do a wonderful job. Obviously, very accessible, for folks in wheelchairs, which is great, and the staff up there is great. Food up there is great. So they do just a wonderful job. They also have their own cabins that they sleep in and stuff, group cabins. So it's just, they do a great job up there. I'm very happy to be able to take kids up there. I think we're doing up there 3 times this past year, and we hope to do that more this next summer coming up. And then some recreation events. So we had 42 participants this past year, pretty much 50-50 as far as male and female participants. 59 participants were 6 to 17 years old, and third-party partnerships and fundraising opportunities is how a lot of these happen. So you can see them out kayaking on looks like, well, maybe that might be up at camp. Looks like a camp picture maybe, and had an opportunity with Santa Claus. And I think they went out to a corn maze this past fall and stuff too. So we try to get them out activities as much as possible, and the community's been great. They've accepted us to come out to the community and be part of the community and participate. And anytime they'll charge us a fee, for bringing our participants out. So it's been great. Sacramento. I don't expect anything less from Sacramento regarding how they participate out here. So it's fantastic. Okay, so one thing I want to focus on as an organization, safety. So we are a safety-driven organization. You have to imagine we have to be really safe with the clientele that we serve, and it starts from here on down. And we received this special award last year from our workman's comp carrier, and it's in a specialty class that we are in. It's a gold award. There's only one award that's given out in each of the 4 or 5 classes that they have. It's the first time we received that, so we were just having a great run with safety, and continue to focus on that as an organization. We just can't underemphasize, our safety structure here and what that means to not only our staff to remain safe, but also for our clients to remain safe as well too. So take a lot of pride in safety. So I want you to know, people come to UCP to work or for services, we have a very, very safe environment here, and we'll continue to. safe, goes home safe, and you know, a lot of their safety practices they take home with them at night as well too. So big emphasis for this organization, and we will continue to focus on that moving forward. A little bit of our staffing. So through the pandemic, we lost about 200 employees. So we're in a process for rebuilding our staff. You can see we hit a low point in December of 21. Actually hit a little low point at that at one point, but just where these graphs are, show 731. We built back up to 761. So we've got a lot of work yet to do this year. We have a goal of hiring 116 net new employees this year. After 5 months, we're about 10 behind that number. But we hope the spring and summer we'll build that number back up. Over to the right, you can see our part-time is a big chunk of that staff, 85%, and full-time is 15%. And the majority of our team members are respite part-time workers. So